Hey now, Steve Severs from Bionic Buzz here at the Grove here in Anaheim, right behind where the Angel Stadium is, here with ZFG. What does this stand for, actually, real quick, since you're wearing a shirt?
Well, it can mean whatever you want it to mean, but as Jules quite politely puts it on stage, it means zero fucks given.
I love that. All right, so here, politely.
Says the sophisticated Englishman.
Politely. I can't even talk properly.
All right, so here at Bionic Buzz, we're all about people's passions. I want to know where your passion for music came from. A certain album you heard or a live performance you saw that made you want to get into the music industry, pick up an instrument, join a band? What was those naturally for you as a kid?
I mean, for me, Trevor and I's dads both played in the band Toto, so for me it was kind of just, there's always basses laying around the house and stuff, so, you know, I was around like 12 or 13, and one of my dad's basses was laying around, and I picked it up and tried to like mess around on it, like couldn't do anything, and just from then on I was like, I will learn how to play this.
Were you self-taught or?
Well, yeah, I mean, my dad was always like out on the road and stuff, so I kind of just, learned playing along to like my favorite records and songs and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Well, man. What about you? Want me to play drums?
My dad was a singer in a band, and I guess he played drums when he was a kid, but I just naturally always, when I was like, I think 1.5 or 2, would pick up drumsticks he had lying around the house, started smashing around, and lo and behold, here I am.
Self-taught too, then, huh?
Until I was like 11. I had an awesome teacher in England from like 11 till 16 who took my playing from like here to way better. So,
Very cool.
Yeah, man, I'm a self-taught player. Inspired by my dad, of course. He made me want to pick up the guitar, and it just kind of came natural. So I kind of feel like it's something that's just not only me; it's something spiritual at the same time, man.
Cool.
So, yeah, just been playing since I was a little wee boy.
Yeah, my first experience was I was 5 and my dad took me to my first concert, and it was this guy called Johnny Hallyday. I'm from France, so it's c'est la France. This Elvis Presley of France, and I remember just kind of locking it. I was the only kid. I was on my dad's shoulders, and just went like that. And he did the same thing back at me. I was like, oh my God, I want to be this guy, And
do you ever do that on stage now?
I don't do this, I do that. But
Zero fucks given.
yeah. And I was saying, like, I had a few lessons, but the love of music has always been self-taught.
Let's talk about your new song, Special. I'm like all choked up now. First of all, the song's amazing, guys. Who produced it? Like, do you guys do it yourself in the studio, or?
Who wants to answer that one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, the way we work on our stuff is like, of course, us four together in a room. The way we do it is, more or less old school, as you say. We just get in, we work on the arrangements. We actually put it all together in the studio. And one day our engineers were listening to Trevor and I just playing a bunch of the songs we had, and they were like, "Yo, this riff is really cool," And we didn't plan on recording it. We had another song in the works, and we were like, "Hey, you should do this one." We're like, "Okay, fuck it, let's do it." We finished writing it in the studio and arranged it with the guys. And yeah, I'm glad that the guys pointed it out. Like, "Hey, you should work on this one." But as far as production and shit, like we're all pretty much
Yourself.
yeah, very independent.
Whose idea was there the ooh in the background?
You mean like?
I remember hearing that in the apartment at some point when
like,
you guys were in there. I just remember
I
hearing.
don't know if it was like someone's idea or if it was just kind of like the
That's
song.
why I asked you producer. I feel like producer came in and was like, okay, you gotta have some background.
No. There was no creative.
I love that.
Like, we love harmonies.
Yeah.
I
Me too.
love Queen and of course Toto and MJ and shit. Like the wealth of a choir, can go a long way. So yeah.
Very cool.
Great words.
Very
English is
smart.
A+.
A+.
Merci.
So you got that single out. You also have Wholehearted. Is it going to be like an EP or album at some point, or?
It's gonna be an album's greatest hits, like
Greatest
in
hits.
6 months.
Yeah.
Definitely.
We're working. Like,
Yeah, we're getting in the studio
Yeah.
at any time we can, and what's cool about this, the music scene now, is that pretty much you can just put out a song when you want to put out a song. We're independent, I mean, we don't have a label like saying you got to put the record out at this date. We're having the luxury of being able to write and record and choose what we want to put out. And take our time on it, and we're really stoked with the 2 that are out right now that people could vibe on, and we have a lot of time to work those because it hasn't really been heard. So you know, we have a lot of time. We're going on the road this summer in Europe. We're opening
cool.
for Toto, and like, you know, so that's gonna be really us building that fan base out there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a lot of growing that we're doing, and growing for, you know, building more of a fan base for the song, you know, because I think Special and Wholehearted are two great fucking songs that like need to be heard by a lot more people before we kind of maybe rush into putting something else out. Yeah. Listen to them.
It's a very kind of a unique rock sound. I can see it being very bigger overseas in Europe.
Yeah.
The closest band I can think of is this band called Reef from the 90s. I don't know if you ever heard of them. So.
Are they good?
Yeah, they kind of had like, they were from the UK. They had like one minor hit, Put Your Hands on Me, but so it's so cool. I mean, do you think like the rock scene's sort of slowly coming back here in the U.S.? You know?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, rock never really died.
Yeah.
I think it just
It just became unpopular for like the young kids.
just a little bit. Though.
Like the young kids, yeah. But like people are still
Exactly.
going to rock shows. They're still selling out arenas. But just it wasn't like
The
you know.
next generation hasn't caught on yet.
Yeah, I mean, then it got really synth
Yeah.
poppy.
Like the passion of the rock fans still, the fact that like bands like Disturbed, and you know they're still killing it. They did an arena tour, these guys went to it, and
Yeah.
like, you know, they're still selling tickets, they're still doing stuff, whereas, you know, there's a ton of like cool popular pop bands that aren't selling tickets, you know. So
You know, Greta Van Fleet's doing well.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
you know, it's like there's the Rival Sons. I've known those guys. They're, you know, they pretty much came together, and their first record came out when rock was really unpopular. So for them to build up to this point where now they got like a #1, you know, single on their last single, it's great to see rock bands like them getting some love. It's really opening the door for us to, you know, make some noise ourselves, you know.
And we're more than a rock band, so you know we're not
Yeah.
too worried about is rock a thing. Good music is always going to be a thing, so hopefully we can stay in that category as long as we can.
Very nice. So how's been the tour so far, man? Any fun stories or anything? I mean, you're playing with some superstars, you know?
Yeah, I mean, so far it's been so far so good. We've we've done 3 shows so far. Tonight's the 4th one here, and then tomorrow's our last show. It's hometown in LA. So it's just been amazing. Good crowds every night, and we've had a great reaction. So we're just stoked on that, and then excited to play back in LA for family and friends.
It's quite funny actually. We never thought that this crowd would really enjoy what we do, because these are very like musician oriented crowds. You know,
Yeah.
they love all the shredding, all the like incredible chops, and everyone seems to be really reacting well.
You
and
guys are
stoked.
all very talented musicians, just listening to bands, right? I feel like
But
that
we're
type of
very-
crowd would very like it, you know?
Yeah. I think we were all surprised on the first night. We're like,
We
oh,
didn't know how it was gonna go.
Yeah.
Man. We didn't know. I mean, this is a musicians crowd too, so
Yeah.
you know we all got to really bring it, and I think that we get away with just enough for this crowd to really dig us, because our arrangement as a band, and it's very tight, and like, you know, it's very riff oriented too, and then, you know, big choruses, and all the people that come to these shows love the epic, hooky, high vocal.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
And the thumbs up, too.
And the thumbs up and,
and
the
badass
middle fingers.
drumming and badass
Yeah.
bass playing and an okay guitar player. You know,
No, dude,
it's
you
like
come up with great riffs, man.
you know,
Those are the 2 songs I've heard.
it's just
Well, at
it's
least-
really cool. It's
yeah.
gratifying. that
At
we're
least
getting
the ones who
that.
don't like it don't come up and tell us.
Yeah.
So that's cool. We only get the, you know.
Which is pretty rare in this day and age.
Yeah,
Hey man, just want to tell you guys suck. Good night.
No, they'll tell you on social media. That's how they do it now.
Yeah, that's true. Everyone's a critic.
actually, one guy did come up to me yesterday. It was really sweet. He's like, man, I really liked your playing, but what was happening with your snare? The sound was so low, and were you going for that, or was it more like a?
Oh, wow.
I was just like-
so technical.
I was like, hey, these are those guys. You know, they love every like aspect of the instrument. So
There's even
it's
a
cool.
woman who said like, so are you guys from LA? I was like, yeah. She's like, oh yeah, because I heard it in one of your songs. I heard Los Angeles. I was like, you actually listen to lyrics? She had never heard the song before. I was like, you're fucking awesome. She bought a shirt or something for her daughter. I remember. Yeah,
nice.
Cindy.
Well, speaking of LA, the lyric video for Special, I mean, as an editor, I was really impressed. Who did that? I mean, it looks like there's real signs all throughout the city.
It was actually that was in Miami. I
it
think
was
that
Miami?
you said it was
Okay,
Miami,
Shots of
right?
Miami, and we've actually never met the guy who did it, but he's great.
I don't even know his name.
Damn.
Whoever you're out there, mystery editor, great job. Thumbs up. All right, so you guys are almost wrapping up this tour. Like I said, you're doing a Europe tour. What can people expect? Anything new coming up? Talk about? New music, EP, music videos?
We're gonna play arenas, so.
You're playing right behind us. That's why we're doing this video.
I mean, eventually, soon enough, yeah. And
the goal.
obviously, we're writing, recording. We'll have a next single before too long, out there, and more shows, more sex tapes, all that shit. Yeah.
ZFG sex tape coming
That'll be the next music video.
They're individual. It's not all of us together in the sex tape. Just letting you know.
Oh, then what was yesterday about? Oh.
All right, guys, it was a pleasure. Thank you guys so much.